TechMAX Expo 25 is the UK's top tech trade show, bringing together hundreds of IT professionals. It's a great opportunity to strengthen relationships with vendors and distributors while networking with industry leaders. You can explore the latest tech and services for growing your IT business. There is also thousands of pounds of prizes up for grabs. And not only that, it's free to attend the day event. The event takes place on the 27th of June 2025 at Magna Adventure and Science Centre near Meadowhall in Sheffield. Features include a live tech awards ceremony, evening retro entertainment, meeting areas and interactive demos. Can you afford not to be one of the 800 IT professionals who are expected to attend? Registration is now open at tftmax.com. Introducing Gamers Beat Cancer, the UK charity using the power of gaming via the gift of gaming to bring hope and support to cancer fighters everywhere. They provide gaming equipment, build supportive communities, and raise funds for vital cancer charities. Join us in levelling up against cancer. Donate, volunteer, or spread the word today. Visit gamersbeatcancer.co.uk and let's have more game on, not game over. The TechMAX Expo 25 is the UK's top tech trade show, bringing together hundreds of IT professionals. It's a great opportunity to strengthen relationships with vendors and distributors while networking with industry leaders. You can explore the latest tech and services for growing your IT business. There is also thousands of pounds of prizes up for grabs. And not only that, it's free to attend the day event. The event takes place on the 27th of June 2025 at Magna Adventure and Science Centre near Meadowhall in Sheffield. Features include a live tech awards ceremony, evening retro entertainment, meeting areas and interactive demos. Can you afford not to be one of the 800 IT professionals who are expected to attend? Registration is now open at tftmax.com.
You're watching Tech Talk, brought to you by Tech for Techs. We're a community that supports independent trade with the help of vendors and distributors. We're live Mondays at 8 p.m. London time, and we will be streaming to Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. You can listen to our podcasts on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, TuneIn, Player FM, and others. And now, here's tonight's show.
Well, hello everyone. Welcome to Tech Talk. And I'm getting it messed up already in the first few sentences.
Why don't you just leave it to me each week,
I might as well. I know it off the top of my head. I can say it any time, but as soon as we go live, get it wrong each
Welcome
time.
to Tech Talk, everyone.
Yeah, exactly. Where we help your IT business grow. And this week we're going to be talking about TechMAX. So it's
Yay!
TechMAX Friday.
Thank
Woohoo!
God.
So, right, guys, obviously let us know if you can hear me stumbling and you can hear Jen. And obviously name your company you work for or you own, and we'll give it a shout out as well. I can see we've got Dan and Welshie Tech both saying hi there. So Dan saying he'll see you Friday or Thursday if you're there to set up. So, well, we'll definitely will be. And
I mentioned you today in a meeting at Magna. I told them to make sure that we had enough Guinness as Dan and myself would need it.
Yes.
So I mentioned your name specifically.
There we go. So, and we've got Kenny Clever saying,
Kenny Clever is saying hi from Northumberland. Myself, Prince, and Duke are watching with our feet and paws up for a change. Well, you do that, royal family. You do that well. And Ian is saying loud and clear, and Bond's excited.
there we
Oh,
go.
bless him.
And
Bond is our baby, if everyone doesn't know.
there we go.
Sean's at Brawley IT says, hi all, Sean here from Brawley IT. See you all Friday. And I'll see you, Sean.
There we go. So it gives you a rough idea. We've got a few people coming on Friday, so it's good that we're talking to a few people. And Welsh Tech, no, I've not had a few drinks. It's just been a very long day.
I don't believe you, Dan.
So
he's a teetotal.
He's teetotal these days when he's not in the pub.
Yeah.
There we go.
Hello from EADR in Norfolk. Looking forward to seeing you all on Friday. Mrs. C at EADR. All right. And hi from Tech Help in Macclesfield. And Welsh Tech saying, I cannot wait. Well, we're excited too. We've been really trying to get this together for you all year long. It started the day of TechMAX last year, planning this year. You may not believe it, but I was sitting at my reception going, right, this won't happen this next time, and this will happen the next time.
Actually,
and
slightly before, because we were checking out venues, weren't we?
Yeah.
So which...
But I always grade my paper on the day of what I will do and not do again.
Mm-hmm.
So
there we go. So right, so we're going to go through everything what's going to go off at TechMAX. But first, before we do, I'm going to show you something just to give you an idea. This is what happened 3 years ago. It's only does it seem like it's only 3 years ago?
No, but 3 years ago, we got a picture for you.
Well, it's more than a picture.
And that was a first for two things. It was the first TechMAX, and it was the day that Allison put her stand together upside down. Oopsie.
So, yeah, I remember that. They're proudly putting the stand up, and about
bless her.
Half an hour before the start.
I felt so sorry for her.
Yeah, half an hour before the start, they're like, "Oh, we've put it upside down. We're going to take it all to pieces and put it back up again."
These things are sitting to try us, though.
But that was 3 years ago.
3 years ago.
Yeah.
It was the first knees up after lockdown was lifted.
Yeah, it was. It was definitely a day in an event.
It was.
Yeah. And then after that one, we had another event.
Yeah, we did.
We had one a year later called TechMAX 23. And this video, I'm going to show a portion of it, was the first event in Magna, where we host now. And this was shot by Celtic Computers.
You got it right.
I got the name right. And that gives you just a rough idea of the size of the venue. It's that one. Well, the way we had it set up there was about 3 times larger than the first event,
and it was partitioned off that day, so it's even bigger today.
Yeah, and I'll quickly show you just another one, which was last year.
Do you have a run through of today? What it looks like?
Today, I do have a map showing the size of it, which I'll show in a few seconds.
No, I mean like pictures and stuff of today, the way it looks.
Well, it's quite hard to show what our event's going to look like because it's not up until Friday.
Never mind what I'm trying to ask you. You don't get it.
So, but this is basically what it looked like last year, which is a similar layout.
do I want to be the same price as Curry's, but I offer the value?
No, not this year. We normally do. So, this is what we're opening.
There we go. I'm not going to play all those. You can see them on the website. That one goes on for about 4 or 5 minutes. That the video does. That was actually filmed towards the end of the day.
Yeah, it was.
It was about 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. That was just before we did the competitions. So, but there you go. So it gives you something to see how it's evolved. This year we've got quite a few new things in there. We'll get that up on the screen and run you through.
Changed quite a bit. If you think about it, I won't spoil it for you, but it's changed quite a bit this year from years past. So I like to think for the better.
Yeah, it's definitely changed. Just to give you an idea, this is the layout of the first event we did at Bramall Lane, so the Sheffield United Football Club. Won't leave it on screen too much.
It looks so small compared to now.
And that was pretty much the size of the venue. This is what it looks like now in comparison, which also includes gaming area, a 3D area, which I'll come to in a few minutes.
I was not going to spoil it for them.
Well, they're going to see in a second. We've already said about it in all the shows. But there we go. Right, let me get the screen on full, so you just to give you a rough idea what's going off. There we go. And just minimize the chat. We'll put it back on in a few seconds, guys, so we won't miss anything what you've said. So you can see the website there. You can see all the brands flying through at the top. And we've got Gadget Joe there, Welshie Tech there as well. Make them happy at the top. Further down the page, it gives you information about it. We've got a gaming area or arena. What's going to be there, which is going to be 12 PCs set up. This is by the Target PC Build Services. So you'll be able to play, obviously, games and stuff like that, and have a look at the latest machines that they've got and designed. And on top of that, they also have a gaming rig, like a sim car racer as well. I believe there's going to be another one as well in the venue as well by Case King, if I'm correct. But again...
I think logistics pending, but...
Yeah, logistics pending on that one. We're going to have some custom PC mods, or should I say a custom PC mod showcase. So that's going to be by Minibot PC. Let me just zoom into that so if you can see it. So basically he showcases what computers can potentially look like if you mod them a lot. So that's going to be good, and that's by Minibot PC. We've got a full body scanner and 3D printer there. So these guys have done work for the likes of Keanu Reeves. They're also, I forget his name now. The guy out of Willow and Star Wars, Warwick Davis. And his family. Basically, it's a big 3D scanner. You walk into it, takes like 200 pictures of you, and then they can then model you and so forth. And
God, I'm scared of that.
I don't know. Put your head on Spider-Man or, I don't know, the Incredible Hulk or something like that and so forth. They can even make GIFs and all sorts, but they're going to be there. So feel free to check out what they have to offer. Again, these are the videos that... other people have done. I think we've got Welshie Tech's got one on there. Enos Tech as well. Gadget Joe's got a video on there as well, so you can check out what it looked like last year. You've also got a few influencers coming as well. There are a few others who have signed up, just haven't sent us the pictures and stuff for various reasons, but they will be there as well.
You know, Phil, you ought to get yourself a body scan and get your head put on Boba Fett.
Problem is he wears a helmet, so you wouldn't know.
You may well.
There you go. Anyway, so let's just go over to the sponsors first. So the main sponsors, or the headline sponsor, is Target Components, in association with quite a few of their brands and other partners they work with. So again, without these sponsors, the event couldn't be possible. So again, thank you very much for the sponsors. So make sure you check them out at the venue. So award sponsor is Mobile Centrics, new to the UK. So if you're into mobile phones and stuff like that and you want parts and so forth, these guys are definitely worth checking out. I was actually surprised when I checked their website out of all the bits they had. That I was like, wow.
And very nice people.
Yeah, I didn't even know there was that many bits for them, but yeah, definitely. So evening meal sponsor, we've got Valkyrie in association with Origin, a brilliant company for doing cooling things and cases. So we've reviewed a few of their products recently. We always get this one wrong. It's either Brigantia or Brigantia. They're the evening drink sponsor. So if you're staying for the evening and you're having a Guinness or a J2O or a beer, obviously make sure you say thank you to these guys.
Every time you take this trip up to the bar, say cheers to them.
That's it.
You got to do that.
Cheers, say thank you. Evening event sponsor. So on the evening we have, it's not necessarily retro is probably the right word. It's old style gaming.
It's old school before we had all this technology in our house. And for those of you who couldn't afford the technology like my parents, we had board game nights. And we would sit around and play Connect 4 and Jenga and stuff like that, which is what 2 of the games I've got coming. And we're going to have an electrical game. I know you've seen them before. They're bent wires, and you've got to get an object across it without buzzing yourself. Now, to me, those are always a challenge. I love those.
But these are all giant ones.
Yes, they're not. They're not
at.
like the little kitty ones that we had. These are huge.
And last but not least, we've got the lanyard sponsor, which is EADR. So that's East Anglian Data Recovery, you may know them as. And they are sponsoring the lanyard. So basically around your neck throughout the show, you're going to have their name.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and obviously if you're looking for data recovery services, I suggest you contact them. You might know Alison Cook, who
and
co-owns
Steve.
it, and Steve Cook, who are active members in the Tech for Techs community.
They are.
So let's quickly just go through the exhibition. I'm not going to read all the names out. I'm just going to let that slide down because last time we did this, we both had, we didn't have a voice left afterwards because it took that long to actually go through. Compared to the first event we did where we actually, we counted it earlier on, it was it 31 or 32 vendors we had in total?
Yeah.
We're well over 100 now. There's even some which haven't sent information, which are coming with some distributors, which are not even listed because obviously we haven't had the 100%, but we do know that they're coming. But obviously we can't put anything down 100% without their sign off and so on. But there will be other names there, which you will know. And again, as you can see, plenty of different brands on there. Okay, so gives you a rough idea. Schedule's been released as well, if you're unaware. So at 9 till 11, that's a.m., you can get breakfast, even though the venue doesn't, or should I say the event doesn't start till 10 o'clock. You can get breakfast if you get there early at 9 o'clock in the cafeteria. That's also served till 7 a.m. and it's able to be purchased.
Yes, let's stress that. You can purchase it.
It is like a cafeteria. You purchase the stuff. The show starts at 10 o'clock, as we said. Lunch is available between 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. So you can purchase it there. If you have got a ticket which includes lunch, that it actually in essence includes a voucher, which is a £15 voucher, which is enough for you to get a main, a drink, and even a side, depending on what you're going for. Obviously, if you want to go back for seconds, you can go back for seconds and purchase if you really wanted to. So that's there. So there is an example menu on there.
Not with the voucher, though.
Yeah, the voucher's one use only if they are using a voucher. But some people might want breakfast and lunch. That's available.
Yeah.
So that's up to you. There's also a bar open in the main exhibition hall as well, which will have snacks as well as drinks you can purchase from as well. At 4:30, you've got the competitions and Q&A. It's more competitions than Q&A, to be honest with you. So we ask all the vendors and distributors to give us prizes for the competitions and Q&A section, but some of them will do competitions on their own stands.
Yeah.
So instead of giving it later on, so don't count, there's 110 people here, but there was only 70 prizes. Those prizes may have been given away on stands, and in some cases may be combined into a larger one, depending on the vendors and the distributors. For example, let's just say it might be a bundle where they give away a keyboard, mouse, and whatever between different ones. But each one's been asked a minimum of £75 worth of product for competitions, whether it's at the end of the day or on their stand.
When you think about it, that's not asking a lot.
Yeah. So if you add it up, basically 75 times that, there's over 10 grand's worth of prizes up for grabs, which is pretty good, and probably more than that because in the past we've seen laptops, we've seen
Oh yeah.
robot hoovers and all sorts, PCs and so on.
They had
Right.
a was it a PlayStation given away last year? Some sort of console gaming system was given away last
Yeah, I
year.
think it was was it Xbox? I can't remember. It was one of them. It was Xbox or PlayStation 4. I can't remember. We've also got the evening meal. Again, evening meal is for evening ticket holders only. So that's those of you who have bought either the VIP or VIP light tickets. It's going to be a barbecue style menu, similar to what we've had in the past. It's generally very popular, so we're sticking with what works. And it will be followed by desserts as well. So you get like mini desserts with it as well. And that's at 6 o'clock. Directly after that, we do the awards. So there's 21 awards in total. We've got the stage set up. There will be someone co-hosting the awards with myself. We're going to have the podium set up properly this time, as well as proper audio as well. So fingers crossed, everything should go to plan there, and you'll be able to hear what we're announcing.
It'll be if you were there last year and you saw the casino and everything, and there was a guy walking around doing magic tricks. His name was Roop, and Roop is going to co-host with Phil.
Yes, and obviously he's running the entertainment in the evening as well. We've also got talks and presentations. Well, should I say talks, presentations, and demonstrations? It's more talks and panelists, but we've got a peek behind the curtain of distribution. So that's going to be Mike Botto from Spire telling you about distribution, as it says in the title. We've also got the metrics that matter, insights into building a profitable tech business, and that's by Paul Moore. Who's a tech specialist at Haywood Wright Accountancy and Advisory. In basics is an accountant, but he specializes in tech businesses. So I'd advise you go to that. He's going to give you ideas how to save money, which is what an accountant should do. If you've got a proper accountant and a good accountant, the amount of money you save from one should outweigh what you actually pay to have the accountant.
It does with us.
Yeah, exactly. So,
and also the tears that were shed when I used to have to do the accounts myself and file taxes on my own. Oh gosh, that was a nightmare. So
they'll also be standing as well. So if you have any questions like should I be VAT registered or not, what's the advantages? Should I be a limited company or a sole trader? Because there's advantages to both. They'll be able to answer those questions for you. Obviously, there's no commitment to them doing any work. You can just ask them general questions and they'll answer them for you.
Yep.
We've also got the Tech Roundtable, which is always possible. You've got myself, you've got Will Murr, Ken Mosley, Cormac O'Donoghue, Richard Creedy, and Mark Dennis. So when we say round table, it's actually more of a seats flat against the wall. There's no round table, but basically we'll be taking your questions, whether it's questions about how to get more business, how to deal with customers. Everyone on that panel is an actual computer technician or a store owner, reseller. So they're actually the sort of people who are just like you, who should be able to answer your questions. Again, the questions come from the crowd, so feel free to ask them what you want. So we've also got a talk as well called Open the Door to New Markets with Target PC Build Services. This is going to be more to do with information about Windows 10, coming end of life. Obviously, everyone's been asked to put Windows 11 on, and they'll be able to answer all your questions regarding that, as well as questions about how they build PCs and so forth as a service. On top of that, we've got Power of the Distributors, used to be known as Battle of the Distributors. The panelists on that is going to be Origin or Origin Storage, depending on how you want to call them. You've got Spire Technology, Target Components, VIP Computer Center, and for the first time, Mentor Distribution. Basically, that one, again, is a panel talk. So these are all figureheads or at least management positions within these companies who are in charge of different things, like director level people.
Yeah.
And they're going to basically take your questions. So you can ask them the usual one, which is, why do you cost more than Amazon? And they have to answer it. So everyone asks about Amazon. And then as we mentioned before, you got the competitions and Q&A at 4:30. If you haven't seen the venue before, it's a huge venue. So it's in Rotherham. We say Rotherham, Sheffield, because it's right on the edge. It's right next to Meadowhall in Sheffield, near enough. If you're driving up the M1, you look left, you've got Meadowhall. You look right, you've got Magna. Big, massive steelworks, or it used to be a steelworks. It's now like an adventure area where you can go around. They have like different
Living
zones.
museum.
Yeah, they have different zones for fire, water, and different things like that, which is pretty good. It's got free parking on site. You've also got, it's walking distance from the main Sheffield Road. It's also in the middle of the bus route. The driving instructions are all on there. It's easy to get to by train as well. You just get off either in Rotherham or Sheffield, and there's a bus what goes directly between the two, and this is slap bang in the middle.
You could actually get off the train at Meadowhall.
You could do. You could go Meadowhall. You need a different bus, though. But yeah, that's an option. You've obviously got Uber taxis as well. Not available this year, but there will also be a tram connection next year if we decide to have the.
They're building it now.
yeah,
We actually saw today them building the tram connection.
Yeah.
So that's going to be really nice.
So you'll be able to get this Sheffield Super Tram or whatever it's called these days, hopefully next year if we stay at the venue. There is a map of the venue, gives you a rough idea the size of it. The red hall at the bottom left is where we have the meals and the award ceremonies. The big hall at the top right is the main exhibition hall. Room 6, as it's called, which is sort of top center. That's where all the talks are going to be. So they're right next to the big hall. So it's not far for you to go from the big hall and room 6. The audio as well. One thing we've asked them to do and get sorted is the audio has been sorted in the big hall as well.
Yeah.
So you'll be able to clearly hear what's been announced and shouted as well. So they've been doing a lot of things there, what we've been asking over the last few months.
We went up for a test today to see that if the Bluetooth would work. And I'm going to have to carry the laptop out from one wall where it goes dead. So if you don't hear me, tell me I need to move the laptop a little more.
No, we've marked it out, John. You'll be fine. So hotels available as well. So if you are wanting to come up, Leonardo Hotel used to be called Jura's Inn a few years ago. It's got a 15% discount on there. The code is on there as well. It's Magna, so that'll get you 15% off. But as we always say, is always look around. There might be limited availabilities. Prices go up when there's limited availability.
And I think this is in the center of Sheffield as well.
Yes. So but within a taxi ride, basically. So you should be fine. Just talking about centre of Sheffield. Centre of Sheffield does have a congestion
That's
charge.
what I was talking about.
Eco charge or whatever they want to call them. Most vehicles, what people are driving, will more than likely be exempt. It's more to do with older, usually vans and stuff like that.
That's what I meant was people that are coming like to exhibit.
Yeah. So just double check, make sure. That's up to you. There's plenty of things to do in Sheffield, Rotherham, Chesterfield. There's some links down there. So you can see all sorts from the Crucible, which is famous for doing the snooker. You go into Derbyshire, you've got things like Chatsworth House, Bolsover Castle, and, well, there's all sorts to do in the areas. You've got to go shopping at Meadowhall, and you can go see the best football team in the world, which is probably going to lose its ground and its livelihood because they're going bust at the moment. And that's one of the Sheffield teams. But there we go.
And you're not saying the name, are you?
Well, they know who that is if they keep up with the news. We've also got the awards. So if you go onto the awards page, it'll show you who the finalists are. And if you don't know already, you can look that up if you wish. But you've got everything from techs, vendors, and distributors on that one.
And if you do not have an evening meal ticket and your business has been nominated, I highly recommend that you get someone to either A, get a ticket, or B, get someone to go up for you if you should by chance win.
That's it. So let me just remove the share screen. So we're on. Stick the chat back on. And then we'll go over the chat. And then, guys, if you've got any questions about the event, let us know now. We've got some preset ones, what people normally ask. We're going to go through those, and we'll go through yours as well. We'll start off going through yours, though. So let me just go back to where we were on the chat a few minutes ago. So I think we got, let's have a look. Alison, remember that. Here we go. So we've got Canny Clever.
Phil, do you want to borrow our Connect Force setup? You may have seen it at our last. Well, we got one actually coming, but thank you, Ken. We might, borrow it next time.
Yeah, it's always an option.
It's always an option.
Probably have a different theme next time.
Yeah, you never know. But thank you anyway.
There we go. Yeah, Welsh Tech, MSI, for some reason, they don't want to support independent traders this year. So I'm not sure what's going off there. So for some reason, they're not attending. But for the amount of people who aren't attending, we've got a lot more that are attending who have never attended before. For example, like Corsair.
Mobile Centrics coming for the first time and being a sponsor.
Yeah, exactly. So we've got Richard saying,
"Hi, Tech Talk from Rick at iMac Repairs in Macclesfield." Hello, Richard. How are you today?
There we go. We've got Richard Creedy, one of our panelists.
Hi, Richard. In your own time tonight, somewhat.
There we go.
We'll be coming up on Thursday, stopping at the Premier Inn at Meadow Hall. Yeah, I know that one. We passed it today. They don't have a TGI Friday anymore at that one. I think it's closed, or there's rumors of closure. Yeah. So, but there's plenty of stuff down there.
I think it's a hint. He's telling everyone where he is, so everyone can gather together and have a beer.
There is a restaurant though on site, as far as I know.
So there we go. So right, okay. So let's go through some of the questions we usually get asked. If you've got any more questions, let us know. So let me just turn that chat off. There we go. Right, okay. So if you want to go ahead, Jen.
What time does the event start and finish? Well, that depends on who you are. If you are standing on the day, as in vendor distribution, you need to be there at 7, no later than 7, and we're going to finish set up around 9:30ish.
Yeah.
And then we'll let the public in. Hopefully, we can let some of you in around 9:30, but the official opening time is 10.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, we're aiming to get out of there around 10:30, 11.
Yeah, so it depends on what tickets you got. If you've got a daytime ticket, then kick-out's basically after the competitions at around about 5:30. If you've got an evening ticket, then it's till around 10:45, 11 o'clock roughly. So obviously I know a lot of you generally by that time have either gone to bed or you've gone partying, one or the other.
I want to be in bed at that time.
There we go. So, okay, so the venue is in Sheffield, Rotherham / Sheffield, slap bang between the two. And how do you get to it? Well, as we said before, you've got pretty much most forms of transport, plenty of free parking. You can get a bus. I think
they have
X1,
Uber.
I think it is. You've got Uber as well. There's train stations, big ones in Sheffield and Rotherham. And I think that covers most of the things. You
could even park up at the hotel and cycle if you're like Allison and Ben that like to cycle.
Yeah. So that's it. Another question we get about parking is it free? Yes, that's one of the things that we like about this venue is it's free. We've looked at other venues and some of them are charging over £25 for parking, which I think, and then some of them charge you £25 to park, and then to get into the event they charge you extra as well. So which we do not do unless obviously you're wanting an evening ticket. So that's pretty good. What's the next question, Jen?
Do I need to bring printed ticket or can I show up on my phone. I wish that you would bring a printed ticket just for the sheer convenience, but if you have it on your phone, we will accept that too.
Worst case scenario, if you forget your tickets, Jen will be there sorting out anyone who's got any ticket problems, including anything like that. If you obviously just go to Jen, just say, I forgot my ticket, she'll be able to find you and then sort your ticket out for you. That shouldn't be an issue.
Richard, not that I know of, not at Magna that I know of.
At the moment, they don't. I think the planning, again, it's still in the planning stages. When they've got the
tram line.
tram line sorted, so potentially next year. But again, that's up to you. Obviously, if you're drinking, Rich, obviously I don't know if you do or do not. Might be best leave your car at the hotel and get Uber in or something like that. Then you can have as many drinks as you want. But that's obviously up to yourself. There we go. Can I buy tickets on the day? You can get tickets on the website all the way up till like 2 p.m. on the day.
They are entry only.
Yeah, so it'll let you enter. Again, they're free if you wanted to purchase it on the day. But I would advise, in all honesty, if anyone's going to come, get there for, I wouldn't get any there later than 12, 1 o'clock, because if you do get there later, obviously a lot of the vendors will start packing up around about 4 o'clock. It doesn't give you much time to see everyone, because we're talking over 100 exhibitors there altogether. If you narrow that down into 4 hours, you're literally talking to each one for like 2-3 minutes.
I just want to say, if you do buy a ticket on the day, you won't have a pre-printed ticket. Someone will have to handwrite your name badge. This is nothing to do with me being funny. It's just that we have pre-printed badges and everything, and you'll just have to have a handwritten badge. Someone got upset about having a handwritten badge last year, so that's the reason I'm pointing this out.
The reason we do pre-printed, we have tried a few examples and so forth, but a lot of the ones where they print them out on site require internet connection, and when you've suddenly got 1,000 people in a venue, the internet can be very up and down and causes issues. Yes. I remember going to an event a couple of years ago by someone, I won't say who they are, and they basically said beforehand, we've got this ticket company in, blah, 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 and it's brilliant. They print the tickets out then and there. You just type your name in and bang, it finds it. The problem is it was about 45 minutes to actually get checked in, didn't it?
I have gone shopping in Tesco in less time.
They ended up having quite a few issues with that ticketing system in the end. So while, I know some venues which are permanent event venues have their own ticketing system built in and stuff. Venues like which are like 100 times bigger, sort of things like NEC and so forth. Obviously, that's so we have to do a manual print as such, but it allows us to find your details quicker. And worst case scenario, if there isn't a ticket, we've got a pen and paper. We can write it down.
But you will get a lanyard. You will get a lanyard and everything. It'll just be a handwritten "Hello, I am."
Nice one. So there we go. So Carl's saying he's not been able to make it this year. That's a shame, Carl. It's always nice seeing you there. Obviously, if you change what you're doing or whatever, your plans change, obviously you're always welcome. Rich says he doesn't drink alcohol, heart meds and so on. So,
well, there's always some probably J2O at the bar.
So everyone heard it. Rich Creedy is a taxi driver for the event because he's not drinking. Okay. Taryn saying, I'm hoping to make it up. Always enjoy TechMAX. You're always welcome up there. We've got plenty of new stuff this year, if you didn't hear earlier on, including the 360-degree scanner unit where they can make models out of you. We've got gaming zones as well. Target's got a nice area in the centre, sort of a floating booth style. So there's quite a few different things going on there.
Are the guys who scan your tickets on your phones going to be there like last year? Those guys particular will not be, sadly, but there are going to be some ladies and gentlemen there that are going to be working alongside me, and they will be scanning.
Yeah. So when you do the check-in, when you actually get to the reception area in the big hall, it's going to be set up in 2 aisles, A to M and N to Z, by company name. So left
Company name,
yeah,
not last name.
by your company name, and that's the company name you've got on your tickets. So if your company name you've put down is the computer shop, then you'll be under T. If you'll put down computer shop, you're under C. So check on your tickets. Again, if you're not sure, you get lost, there will be someone in the queue area helping people out and directing them. And if there's any problems, I'll direct you to Jenny, which will then be able to sort you out.
I have a
worst case
feeling
scenario.
that I'm going to be very busy.
Yeah. So hopefully that
I'm supposed to be the problem solver only, and I've got a feeling I'm going to be solving a lot of issues.
So the phone apps this year have been updated a little bit, so they'll be able to scan you. It'll tell them your name, and then they can click on more information. It tells the company name as well, so they can, in case you've spelt your company name or someone's checked you in under a different name or whatnot, we'll be able to get through and so forth.
That's fine, Wilshie, if you have your tickets on your phones. Like I said, that is fine. If you have them printed out, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
But if that's not practical for you, well, then that's fine. We accept it.
Just one thing to note is if people have got damaged screens on their phones or even potentially dirty screens, that can affect the scanning as well. So then you'd have to manually go through if that was the case.
So all you mucky pups, clean your phones.
Yeah, there we go. Right, next question. Is there a dress code?
There is not a dress code, but however, I suggest using your mom's best judgment, which means don't come in all nasty and everything. Make sure you're clean. And I would say if it shows too much, then don't.
Yeah. I wouldn't wear a bikini or something like that there. So basic dress code, jeans are fine, trousers are fine, shirts are fine, T-shirts are fine, company branded stuff is absolutely fine as well. Basically, as long as you don't look like a tramp, we'll let you in. No offense if there's any tramps watching. Okay?
Or anything else.
So basically is look how you think you should look when you're going to be mingling with your peers and people you purchase from and stuff like that. There we go. So Rich
that's
says,
a good idea, Richard. I mean, that way you'll get seen and people usually remember because, it's a guy with the blue on. Oh, yeah, I remember him. He was at Canny Clever IT. You remember Mr. Ken because he and his group all dress in the Canny Clever outfits. Yeah. So
next one is, can I bring someone with me, for example, a colleague, partner, or child?
As long as they have a ticket, as long as I would say a child over 12 would be your best bet because you've got people walking around. We're all adults and slip of the tongue, I'm not saying we're swear boxes, but we're not going to be watching out for
the event
kids.
is aimed at adults, business owners, and adults basically.
And there's not many facilities for children to play. Well, there's no facilities for them to play.
That's it. So the best thing to do is obviously, it's generally the rule is if your own child, more than likely they should be fine if they're interested in technology and stuff, but it's not a place to come and get free gifts and stuff. If you think that your child's going to be a good part or is a good part of your business, then feel free. Just basically, obviously, if you know the kid's temperamental, we'd suggest, obviously, you find a babysitter.
There was a little child that was on a video in Tech for Techs, and he was talking about, this is the motherboard, and this is the RAM, and this is the capacities. He meant capacitors. Now, he would enjoy the day.
Mm-hmm.
He would actually enjoy it. So you've got to use your best judgment, on is your child really into this or am I actually bringing them out for a day out. So
That's it. Next question is, what is included in the ticket price? Well, it depends on the tickets you've got. There's 4 different tickets. There's a day ticket, which basically lets you into the venue, and then you purchase any drinks, food you wish. We also have all the other tickets are sold out, by the way, apart from the day ticket.
yeah,
But you've got a day ticket which includes a lunch or a voucher. So basically, you will get a voucher which is worth up to £15, which you can use once. So you can go and get yourself a lunch. That would be like a lunch and a drink at the same time. You could potentially get a side in there as well. For whatever reason you want to spend more than £15, then you just pay the difference. That's the day ticket, which includes lunch.
About that voucher, I need to clear something up. It's in the next question. What if I want to spend £5 of my voucher? Well, that's fine. You can spend that, but they take the voucher off of you at that point.
Yeah.
So, you've spent £5 of a £15 voucher. That's fine. But you can't take it back and redeem and redeem and redeem. Once you've handed it in, that's it. There is no change given. That's it.
I suggest what you do if you think you're going to need a drink later in the day, get yourself an extra drink or something like that. So go up to the £15. We get charged £15 no matter if you buy one item or whatever. But basically, it works out £15. So the other 2 tickets are VIP tickets. You got VIP Light, which gives you access through the day, as well as the evening event. The evening, the food is included and the drinks are included in the bottle bar. Most things are included by the glass or a shot or a mixer and a shot or a Guinness or a J2 or whatever.
And when we say a shot, we mean a shot.
Yeah.
If you want double shots, you pay for the second shot.
Yeah. And then there was the VIP ticket. So the non-light version, which is basically the same as the VIP one, but you also get that lunch token as well, or voucher, should I say.
Those sold out real quickly.
Yeah, so those have gone pretty quick. A lot of people ask, why don't we do free lunches for everyone? I wish we could. Unfortunately, the food costs are one of our biggest things unless we can find a sponsor who is willing to pay for the increasing number of guests every year. It's one of those things we can't include it for everyone, unfortunately. I wish we could, but when you're talking, even if you're just looking at a £15 voucher for 1,000 people, that's 15 grand. So we've got to find someone to pay for that. Unfortunately, when you're giving free tickets away,
I mean, when you think about it, you're getting a free entry to meet and be with people that you know and network with people that you haven't met yet. It's a steal. You would have had to bought your lunch anyway if you'd been at home.
That's it.
So I think, gosh, this is great value for money.
Yeah. One question what we normally get or sometimes get is about disability facilities. The whole venue is pretty much flat. There's no stairs, steps, or anything like that. There may be 1 or 2 slight ramped area to get into the venue, but when I say slight, it's minimal from the car park, depending on where about you park. They also have the radar key system, so you can get into the toilets.
I never can remember what those are called, but those little fobs, are they called? Radar. Are they called radar?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's radar. I might be wrong, but someone will correct me. But I'm pretty sure it's radar keys. But yeah, so they're there. So if you have got a radar key, they've got facilities and so forth for it. Right. Next question is,
where do I check in on or? What does that say? I can't see.
Where do I check in or register on arrival?
All right. You're going to go through the main reception, down the hall, and it's going to split off into 2 aisles, split up A to M and N to Z. And depending on your company name, you're going to follow on one of those. Canny Clever IT is going to go A to M, and PC Guy is going to go into Z. So you'll split off and go there, and you'll have 2 people there checking you in with scanners on either aisle. If there is a problem, they're going to direct you to me on customer service, but I hope not. Not that I don't want to see you, I just don't want problems.
That's it. Ken at Canny Clever is saying that the toilet keys are called radar.
Thank you, Ken, for that
thank you
clarification.
Also, for disabilities, the way obviously compared to the first venue we had, it was very cramped in there. So it actually looked quite full in there because it was that cramped. Don't get me wrong, it was full, but it looks a lot busier. The way we've got the venue set up is the minimum distance between any of the stands, as in like the aisle widths. The minimum distance is 4 meters. So compared to the other venue,
you should be able to get through there with a wheelchair or a mobility scooter.
Compare that to when we were at Bramall Lane. I think the minimal distance was about 1.5 meters. So
it was single file pretty much going through there.
It obviously helps people who are in chairs or on scooters, but it also gives people a bit more room to spread out. You don't feel so cramped. So in some senses, it feels like there's not as many people there because it's more spread out. But obviously there is.
I will say also, if you're either walking around or going around on a scooter or whatever, patience, because people will find their favorite vendor, pile up, and have a chat. And this causes congestion. So just be patient and know that eventually it will die down. You might want to redirect yourself to a different area instead of going that way until, you see it dies down.
Right, let's quickly go through some of the rest things. So Ian is also saying that it's a radar key as well. So that's good. Is food and drink available on site? Yes. As we said, there's a cafeteria there where you can purchase food or drink. The cafeteria serves non-alcoholic drink in the daytime. In the evening, it will be alcohol will be available, but that's only for evening ticket holders. And there is a bar in the main exhibition hall near where the reception is, which will be serving drinks throughout the day, alcoholic or non-alcoholic, including teas, coffees, and stuff like that, as well as snacks.
Please remember, Magna is a cashless venue. And what that means is you need to bring a credit card or a debit card with you.
Yeah, there you go. And Rich Creedy just said it as you were saying it. So good timing there, Rich.
I'm going to hire you, Rich, to come in here and do Tech Talk. Let me have the day off and go home and fuss about with Bond, and you and Phil can do Tech Talk.
There we go.
Canny Clever says, for those of us who would like to change clothes for the evening, are there facilities for this? I suppose if you want to do that, you could go into the restroom. That's about the only thing I can really offer, though, is the restroom.
Unfortunately, it's not really got anywhere to do that other than the restrooms, to be honest with you, unless you all want to do it in the car park, but that could get very interesting very quickly.
Yeah, I wouldn't suggest that because they do have cameras out there.
Exactly, that's what I was
So, I might go into the restroom later on to make a quick change, depending on how I feel, because I don't know the temperature of the day, and if I'm hot and everything, I'm not going to be very nice.
General rule is if you do want to dress up for the evening, which, to be honest with you, you don't have to. Most people don't. Just go from the main event to the evening. But if you do, if you're a man, it can be quite easy to dress up. Just make sure you've got a jacket with you or something like that. If you wanted to put it on, you can put that on pretty much.
Or if you're wearing trousers, bring a nice shirt to hang up, and just bring it and.
Yeah. So, but obviously, again, there isn't really the facility there for changing, unfortunately. Unlike, I think most other places would be, it's usually hotels and stuff like that. Where you can go for changing.
When I went to a Target open day one year, I got changed in the middle of the ladies' room, and my zipper broke. I was trying to get my gown on, and the zipper broke, and thank God one of the staff members had come through.
Oh, they sewed you in, didn't they?
Yeah, they sewed me into my gown, yeah.
That was it. Yeah, there we go. Right, let's quickly go through some of the others. Our talks or seminars included in the ticket. If do they require basically any separate booking? No, and they're optional. So basics is any of the talks we've mentioned you can go to. You can fit around about 120 people in each of the talks, maybe a little bit more if you stand around the back. But in basics, it's free to attend. So if you are wanting to attend those, feel free. You're not forced to. It's not like some events where they say, "Oh yeah, between 10 and 12, you've got to go to this
Oh
talk," and
yeah,
that's all.
I don't like that. That's boring.
And that's all that's going off. The actual main hall will be open all the way through till 4:30 ish, and then the only things you're really forced to is if you go to the competitions, if you really want to go to the competitions, and if you've got evening tickets, go to the evening meal. But otherwise, throughout the day, as soon as you get there, what you do is up to you. So if you don't want to watch a specific talk, or if you want to watch all of them, that's your choice.
You can walk around Magna exhibition part all day if you want to. See how many times you can walk around it. If you want to go and sit through every talk in the world, that's up to you. Yeah, or if you want to go and sit in the cafe and natter around with some friends, that's fine too.
That's it. There will be more signage at the venue as well, and we're putting quite a few QR codes on things. Even on the back of your name tags, there will be 2 QR codes, so you can get the map of the venue as well as times up as well, so you can easily find out what's going off and when. And with the new tannoy system they've got in the main hall as well, announcements should be a lot better. So we've been we tested it today and a few weeks ago, and it's a lot better. So there you go.
Yeah.
So next is, will you be able to speak directly to brands and distributors? Well, yeah, you're there.
Yeah,
to
that's what it's
network.
about.
That's the whole point. The event is basically, well, I wouldn't say the whole point of it, but the main thing you should be focusing on is networking with brands, distributors, as well as other techs who are there. Whenever I've ever attended any events, I learn more from the people who are there, to be honest with you, than anything else.
I will say, if you're there and you want to speak directly to brands, be patient. Everybody wants to speak to them. And it's not that they're playing favorites, it's they're trying to get everybody in and speak to them. So, either be patient or be willing to pop them an email if worst case comes along.
Yeah. There'll be a few people wanting to know who's exhibiting. Again, just go to the website, tftmax.com. The address is at the bottom of the screen. It's scrolling across. You'll see it again in a few seconds. And just click on exhibition, and it'll show you the full list of them there. And bear in mind, you will be scrolling for a bit because there's a hell of a lot of them this year.
Canny Clever says, do you know if anyone is submitting questions for the roundtable talk? Advanced warning will help get a fuller answer. Not that I know of.
So, do you know anyone who's submitting questions for? I will be making a post in the coming days asking if there's any preset questions or anything what anyone's got. But it's going to be aimed more at how do you, or what do you find the most successful thing at obviously making money, to be honest with you. So if you want to talk about certain services and stuff you offer, but again, it's really down. The priority of the questions will always be with people in the room, and then we'll work on the questions if there's time for anyone who sent them in via the group who are not at the events, because we want to prioritize people who are at the event, obviously, who have taken the time to come to answer their questions rather than people who are not.
Because, no offense, the ones that are not there, they're not going to know if you've answered the question or not.
Exactly, because that's another one of the questions is we don't record any of the talks or anything like that because of this. We want basically everyone to get as much benefit as possible by being at the event. If everything was recorded and so forth, and someone just went around a camera and so forth, it reduces the reason for people to actually come. And the whole idea of the event is to get as many people together as possible, because the more people we get at events like this, is the more power we have to get distributors and vendors and so forth to actually do things. And it's slowly working. Some of them are getting it in their head. So they're actually going,
we have
need to
another
listen.
question. Can I place orders or buy products at the show? This is a two-part question, in my opinion. No, people will not be selling things, and they probably will not take your order at the show. However, they might give you a special code for so much off of a certain product on their website that you can use if you're ordering, let's say Norton antivirus for something. Put in TechMAX 25 1010, and which is not a real code. And I don't know anything about Norton, blah blah blah, but that's a
Yeah, so the basics to that one is it's not like shall we say, a car boot as such, where you can go and, oh, look, there's a computer case there, I'll give you 50 quid for it. It's nothing like that. This is to show off products and services. Don't get me wrong, some of them might not directly sell. So there might be more of a thing that's like, do you want to sign up and we'll contact you next week or something like that. And there may be some offers and so forth, but it's not usually a direct
not a
sale
no.
thing, but they might sign you up to something if you are willing, obviously. So that gives you a rough idea.
Media and promotion. Can I take photos and videos? Sure. Yeah. That's fine.
Only thing I suggest on that one is if you're taking pictures.
I was just fixing to say about NDA.
No,
if you don't mind.
The only thing I would suggest about taking pictures and videos, if you're taking things of people specifically, is you just check with them, are you okay taking a picture of me? And if someone does turn around and say, I don't want my picture on there, or can you remove my picture, you do so with no questions asked, basically.
I was going to say, it's always good to ask people that have a stand, am I okay publishing this on social media? It should be okay, being that you're at the event, but there's always a possibility that they don't want it shared.
General chances, 99.99%, you should be fine. It's just some people don't like to be on camera for whatever reasons. Some people might be attending the event with someone they shouldn't be. For whatever that reason is. I've had that before.
Yeah.
I had that actually a few weeks ago at an event I went to, and it's like, can you take these pictures off because we're not actually supposed to be together yet. But that's obviously up to them, and just obviously abide by their wishes if someone does say that to you. There also will be a photographer on site as well, so an event photographer, shall we say, who will be taking pictures of all the stands and everyone there. So he'll be there throughout the whole day. So make sure you smile for him.
I don't know if you read Welsh's or not. Any of the booths, make sure to ask before taking. Always do that, Welshie. That's a good thing. Even if you see that it's clearly POS, it's always nice to say please and thank you.
Yeah.
Richard Creedy says there could be some unreleased items at the show. I'm sure there will be. Sure there will be. As a matter of fact, I think probably some of them will have come straight from Computex.
Yeah, there'll be some. There's some things what are first UK, and I've been told there's one or two things what are first globally as well.
Yeah.
Generally, though, if they're putting them on display and not saying, "Hey, why don't you come round the corner and I'll show you this new product?"
Yeah.
Generally, if they're on display on the table, they should be okay. But it's always best to double check if it's something. But generally, there aren't many people walking around with mobile phones these days. You can't tell whether someone's taking a picture or not. In all honesty.
True.
So we will not be live streaming or recording as such the event. again, we believe
that
you
would
should
cut into
attend it.
footfall, I do
Yeah,
believe.
it
So
could potentially. And again, the whole idea of the event is we
is to
want to
get
help the
football.
industry, and one of the ways of helping the industry is getting as many people involved as possible.
Can I promote my visit on social media? Yeah, we have a hashtag for that. It is hashtag TM25 and hashtag TFTMax if you wish to promote it on social media.
Yeah, the main one is the TM25, but a lot of people use the TFT Max one as well. Or you can just tag in Tech for Techs if you're depending if you like on Facebook or something like that. That's totally fine if you want to. The merrier, and then we can easily find content after the event and then show it off on our website and socials as well. So,
if you do take pictures, film, whatever, if you don't mind sending it over to us, we would gladly receive it.
So if you don't mind us using your stuff for future events and stuff like that, feel free to send it over and we'll put it on social media and so forth. We've done that before, as you
can see, Celtic did.
Video. Gadget Joe's got his videos. A lot of the time, if you're an influencer, we'll link to your stuff. But sometimes, if it means that embedding it onto a website, we'd have to actually embed it on the website and then put a note underneath saying, "Please visit this person to see the full video," or whatever it may be. But if you're happy to do that, then obviously we're happy to publish it as well.
Business and trade specific. Are there exclusive trade only offers or discounts?
That's down to the vendor and the distributors who are there. Obviously, most of the vendors who are there work with distributors who will be there as well. So they may have ones. But in most of these situations, it's always best to speak to the distributors and get to know the vendors or the actual brands. Okay, because if you get a good networking or cooperation between that brand and the people what work there, they'll sometimes say, yes, we do actually have preferred pricing or better pricing, and I'll get the distributor to help you with this.
Richard Creedy says, did Gadget Joe check if he can take a drone around? I'm going to say that no drones.
Yeah.
We don't want any kind of mishaps where people are thinking that we're doing anything military.
Yeah. If you're doing it outside the building, contact the venue. But if you wanted to do it inside, then no. I don't want to. I'm 6'6", and there's going to be 2 or 3 people there who are taller than me.
Richard Towers Force.
Yeah, last thing we need is a drone hitting us in the side of the head.
And I'm going to tell you something. He's an irritable side on his best of days. If he gets hit in the head with a drone, he's going to be everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. Question is, do we need to bring ID or proof that you're in the trade? You don't need to bring any details with you other than your tickets. When you buy your tickets, obviously you're asked what company you work for and so forth. It's a hard thing to police, in all honesty, at events like this anyway.
However,
so you'll generally stand out like a foursome if you're generally not in the trade, because everyone's going to be talking about trade.
I was going to say, if you wanted to bring some business cards to pass out, feel free to do that.
Yeah, so if you want to obviously network with other people, the vendors, distributors, bring your business cards and pass out and stuff like that. One thing of noting, if anyone is found to be trying to sell stuff at the event, like a Dell boy, shall we say, and they will be asked to leave. We do have security on at the event. So if anyone tries doing that, and the reason that is, it's not that we don't want you guys to sell stuff, it's that people have actually paid to exhibit at the event.
Yes.
And these people we sign up, or who sign up for the event, we know who they are. If you ended up buying something from Dell Boy, let's say, from under his coat, and it's a nice new wireless router or whatever it may be, or a charging bank, we don't know that thing isn't going to blow up as soon as you get it home or in the car.
Or in Magna.
In Magna, and obviously we've got no way of tracing them as such, really. So, again, we don't mind you networking, talking to other people, but no underhand selling is probably the best way of putting it.
Or underhand giving, even.
Yeah.
Don't bring products in a backpack and go, look, this is what I make. This is what I sell. Don't do that. If you're not on the stands, don't have product pulling it out and showing it.
Yeah, exactly. And again, we do have security on site throughout the day.
Yeah.
And evening. Right. Someone's asked, can I sign up for distribution accounts at the event? So sign up with a distributor. The answer is really down to the distributor there. More than likely, they'll take your details and follow it up the next.
I would kind of discourage it because they're going to be busy doing so much that they're not going to have time to sit down and sign up on the day. But you could ask, questions about signing up.
So more than likely, again, it's down to the distributor because obviously there's going to be a lot of people there. But more than likely, they'll either say, "Oh, hey, go to the website, blah blah blah," or give me your card and I'll give you a call next week or something like that.
Yeah.
So, but again, they may do. It's really down to the distributor. It's something we don't stop them doing.
No.
But I'm guessing with the time frames, then you never know.
Yeah.
So the last preset question we got in was, are there any legal or business talks relevant to retailers or resellers?
There will be Hayward Wright, and they are going to do an accountant / grow your business talk.
Yeah, there we go. So they will be there, so they'll be able to tell you all about accountancy, save money for your business, or make more money for your business. And then there's a few other talks as well, which I think we've covered. Right, guys, we're pretty much at the end of the show. Wow, it's been over an hour already, John.
Really, has it?
Yeah, I was going to say, it's only about 20 minutes, 30 minutes in. We're over an hour.
Oh, wow.
So that's gone by pretty quickly. So basically, guys, it looks like you're all questioned out. Most of you have all been to the event before or have seen everything else. We try and cover everything on there. There is a more Q&A on the actual website as well. So if you want to go over any of these questions, there is a section on there which does have bits and bobs. It's actually near the bottom of the main page. You go down, it'll tell you what is the attendance, how do I book tickets, and all this.
I would just like to say I will be very hard to get up with this week unless you're a vendor that's standing or distributor that's standing. Because I'm all hands on deck with my vendors and distributors that are standing, and I'm in meetings about TechMAX, trying to get everything I's dotted, T's crossed, and things like that. So I'm going to be very hard to get a hold of.
Yeah. Also, another thing, if you're wanting to talk to me and Jen at the venue, there's going to be a lot of people who want to talk to us. So no offense if we don't talk to you. Okay, we'll try and talk to everyone, but if there's going to be 1,000 people there over the space of the day, we literally get a few seconds with every single person, if that's the case.
It will be easier to speak with us on the night.
So if you're on the evening, there's usually a bit more time on the evening because obviously there's a few less on for the evening meal. But again, it's nothing against you. If I don't say hi or ignore you, just bear in mind both myself and Jenny are hands-on. So we're not like a lot of, shall we say, managing directors at some companies who will just stand in the corner with a pint of beer chatting.
Yeah.
We're actually... I'm actually doing the talks. Jen's manning the reception. I'll be back and forth. We've also got Ian, who you've probably seen in the chat. He's helping out as well. He's going to be going around checking that everything's working. We're going to make sure the projector's set up for the talks and different things like that. And then we have to go into different rooms, make sure that the meal's been set up and so forth. It's quite a full day. So...
I should really put me a jar at reception, and every time someone says my name, get someone to put a pound coin in.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, let's see what I've got.
We've got Rich Creedy, last question, and then we'll call it a night. It says, is it a free-for-all on the tables? Yeah, for
yes.
the evening, apart from
one table,
yeah,
it will be reserved for Phil, myself, Ian, and Roop. And after we're seated there, There will be a few more seats, and you're welcome, first come, first serve, to come up and sit with us. But we have to have this table because it's convenient for the stage, and that's all.
Basically, after we've done the awards, that we'll be moving around ourselves. So generally, I'm
Yeah.
usually moving table to table and talk to as many people as possible. But so basics is it is a free for all on the tables again, and we set it out so there's actually there's more chairs set out than there is actual people attending, just so many people can move around a little bit more, so they're not all crammed in and so forth. We could potentially fit more people in there, but we know it'll be a bit tight and a bit uncomfortable.
If perhaps your table has chairs that's not being used and you want to move them about for more leg room or wheelchair access, feel free to do so. But just make sure that those chairs are not going to be used first.
Yeah, exactly. So basics is, though, if you've got any questions while you're at the venue, either ask myself if I'm available, or Jenny, or any of the staff from Magna. They should be able to point you in the right direction and help you out.
Yeah.
We've been actually there this morning, having meetings with them, running through everything. We're there again on Thursday. We'll be setting it all up, and no doubt we'll probably have to go between now and Thursday as well for something. Then we'll obviously be there from like 6 a.m. on Friday. So, and then we're back again. Well, I will be again on Saturday, taking everything to pieces. So, it'll be an interesting one. So regarding photos, official photos for the event, because we have got a proper photographer going. They usually obviously have to edit and go through them all themselves, and obviously they probably have the weekend off as well, so just expect the official photographer photos to be a few days after the event. Like most events, generally they're usually a few days later. Okay, right, we're going to call it there, guys. Thank you again for tuning in, and what I'm going to do is as we go, just leave you with the video from last year, and obviously watch it. This was taken towards the end of the event when a lot of people have started departing already, but it gives you an idea of the size of the event and some of the things what are being shown off.
Yeah.
So good night, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. See you Thursday if you're an exhibitor, and Friday if you're a guest and visiting. So see you later. Thanks again, everyone.
Bye.
Have a good one.
To go, do I want to be the same price as Curry's, but I offer the value?
No, not this year. We normally do. So, it means that.
And we do that on this particular drive. We do that and recreate what 9 times out of 10 is a product.
That's what we mean.
This is the WOLED 27-inch, 240 hertz.
Work for me, work the body for me, what, work it.
So monitor is on the back. It's a Visa 100, so you can change the monitor. Only requirement we have is the connectors is pointing down. Here you have SFX PSU, mini ITX motherboard, full-size CPU. So the cabinet is like this. This is what we deliver. It is with a PCIe 4 riser cable and a display port cable, which is a ribbon cable, because that's what we need. And you have setting up, do this.
So what gave you the idea to make it?
My gaming laptop burned down.
That body for me, what? That body for me, work for me, work for me.
Content creation. Has it just got back?
Yeah.